Hello, this is Vicky from the Spellbound Bead Company, and in this video we're going to look at Circular Peyote Stitch. This is another really useful stitch. Again, if you're not familiar with plain flat peyote, it's worth going back and having a look at the videos for that. You can find them on our channel. Then once you've done that, you come back and you'll be in a much better place to start with the circular stitch. We use this in several of our kits. So we use it in our little beaded bowls kit here. You make the base in circular peyote and then switch to tubular peyote to pull it up into the bowl shape. We also use it on the lids of our birthday boxes. So you can see that there. Now you maintain the shape of these by putting in a series of increases which you work over 2 or 3 rows. So I'm going to show you how to do that. I'm not going to show you the patterning techniques that we've used here, but so hopefully you'll be able to see what we're doing from the stitch. So I've started by threading on 6 repeats of 1A and 1B, 1 blue, 1 green bead here. So we've got 12 in a circle, in a row. And what we're going to do, we're going to bring those into a circle by just going through that first blue bead a second time. So we're going to start with a circle of beads. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to add 1 bead to every blue bead to give us a place to start our increases. So to do this, I'm going to pick up a bead. I'm going to go back through the blue bead using a square stitch thread path there so that the yellow bead sits on top of the blue with the holes parallel. I'm going to go through the green bead and the next blue bead, and we're going to do this all the way around here. So go through, go through, go through again. And this is making like a spoke that's sitting out from the surface of the work. And then to add the last row of the bead, I'm just holding the keeper bead in the centre out of the way. We're going to go through again. Now, the step up for this one, what we're going to do is we're going to come out of that first yellow bead that we put on, like so. Now, what this will do is it will reverse the direction that we're working in. So this is now going to be working anti-clockwise around the work. If you're not comfortable doing that, if you prefer to work in a clockwise pattern, you can turn your work over and then you're going to continue working in the same direction. It's up to you. It's whatever feels more comfortable for you. So what we're going to do now is we're going to add 2 beads into each gap that we've got here, and this is the start of the increase pattern. So we're going to go through 2. No, we're not. We're going to pick up 2 and go through 1. Just pull that through there. I'm going to pick up 2 and go through 1. Pick up 2 and go through 1. Pick up 2 and go through 1. Pick up 2. Go through 1. Pick up 2. Now we're going to go through the yellow bead and we're going to step up just through that first one of the pair of pink beads that we've just picked up there. Okay, so that's our increase row. Now what we're going to do is we're going to split the pairs of beads. So we're going to add a bead into each gap in the middle as well as a single peyote stitch as well. So I'll do that in the purple so you can see it again. So we're going to start by picking up a bead and going down through the second of the pair of pink beads that we've just gone through here. So we're going to come through there and then pick up 1 and go through, and again just through the first half of the pair, pick up a bead and go through the second half of the pair, And we've got one regular peyote stitch through. And do this all the way around. So you can see that the shape of this will start to change as well. This will start to get a slight cupping to it, which is a function of the increasing. What you can do is just give your beads a wiggle so that they sit nice and flat. So this is the point round here. Let's split round. So we're just putting a bead in each gap. So now, because the proportions of these beads aren't quite the same as a proper Delica bead, they're not sitting entirely happily, but yours will sit much more well behaved. So through the first pink bead of the previous row where the step up was, and step up into the new purple bead that's there. I'm just going to loosen that centre bit off a little bit so that it will sit more comfortably. So now we've increased there, so we've gone from the 6 beads that we added here to having 12 beads around. So what we're going to do now is we're going to add a single row of beads all the way around. So I shall do that in the white so you can see. So, and that's your first set of increases done. And I'll keep doing that, keep going all the way around. And this is just ordinary peyote stitch here. All the way around. So what you're going to do now is we're going to stack the increases so they sit on top of one another as we're going round. So this is where you need to just have a little look at your work and work out where you're coming out in relation to what you want to do. So we've got the increases, or the corners if you like, in every gap here. So what we're going to do this time is we're going to add a single bead into this gap and then a pair of beads to sit above that pair of beads there. And I'll continue doing this in pink so you can see the rows. So just grab some more pink beads here and we'll start again. So this round we're going to put in a single pink bead there, then a pair of pink beads for the corner for the increase, and then single and a pair, and a single and a pair, and a single and a pair. And this, you can see the pattern that's starting to form, which is quite nice because it means you can do things in this space because you can see how the pattern's forming. So there, and this final pair, and step up into that first bead of the row there. So that's the pink beads, and then again we're going to do another split row. So we're going to put a purple bead in between each of these pairs again. So we're going to start with a single bead, step up, well, it's not a step up, pass through the first bead of the pair, add on a bead through the second bead of the pair, and this time we're adding 2 beads between each corner here, and a single, and a pair, and you're going to continue this all the way around until the lids the size that you want. Now you've got a couple of different things you can do with these. Once you've got all the way around, I think I might run out of thread before we get there. Let's have a look. And what you can do is you can turn this into I might just get to the end of the row. Let's have a look. Just. Okay, so there we go. And then we'll just join in another new thread. So that armful of thread, if I was working with regular delicas, would have been plenty, but as I'm working with larger beads, they use up more thread. So let's just tie another keeper bead onto the end. Yeah, leave yourself a decent amount of thread to tie the end in with as well, so you're not it's not going to be awkward for you. And then I'm just going to come back through a couple of beads here, and so I'm coming out in the right place. Okay, so you increase over 3 rows. So you've got your pair, your split, and then your plain row. So I'm just going to whip round and put the final plain row on, and then you can start doing things with this. Like you can turn this from a circular piece into a tubular piece by stopping putting in any increases. So if you bear with me a second, I shall whip round here. So because this isn't going to sit flat on the bottom, you've got a couple of different options if you want to turn this into some sort of vessel, like a little vase or a little pot. So you can work your pots same as our birthday pots are done. So you work around a base, you make a base, and then you pick up beads and add them that way. Or if you've got something like this, you've got a couple of options. You can either add some feet to the bottom by just getting stitching a larger bead so that it sits underneath to make like a little set of feet for your work to stand on. Or the other thing you can do, because your work, there should be a little bit of movement in your work still, you can actually push this bottom bit up to give yourself a flat base to work on. So that's a couple of options for you if you need them. So almost there. Okay, so to turn this from circular peyote into tubular peyote, what you need to do is, you can see there that I'm actually in a place where if I want to continue with circular peyote, I'd be ready to start another increase. But you can turn this into something by just coming straight up the side. So if you just add one bead into the gap rather than a pair, like this, and it'll take a row or two to show, but you'll find that you start making like a wall rather than a flat piece. Oh, that's where the new thread was joined in, so that's just going to sit. Just give these a pull so they all sit comfortably. There. And just work round. I'm coming towards the end of this spool of the sealant that I'm working with, and it's a little bit loopy, which is why it keeps looping round on itself. So just the one bead, and do this all the way round. So you can see these beads on the where the corners are, they're actually sitting slightly proud, which is sort of what you need, because what will happen on the next row is that they will sort of guide the rest of the beads into the right position, because you'll find that you start working on top of the work rather than on the side. So there we go, there's the step up into the first bead of the round, and then I'll use the green beads and come round, and you can really see there that's starting, just get there, starting to make the wall. You can see there's a definite corner forming on the work. So if you carry on doing that all the way around, you've now turned your work from circular peyote into tubular peyote, which is quite a handy thing to know. So that's this video for you. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you like what you've seen. If you have any questions, please get in touch. You can find us at spellboundbead.co.uk. We've got a Facebook page. You can email us. You can give us a ring and ask any questions that you have, and we will be more than happy to help. Thank you for watching.